I'm Senali Vanikasundara from Leo Club of University of Colombo. Welcome you with the 13th episode of Detect and Correct, which is the initiative taken by Leo Club of University of Colombo in order to discuss crucial and debatable topics in the present context. So as to make our discussion series easily accessible for you, we are linking through two platforms, YouTube and our official newsletter, which is in written form. Today also, we are going to discuss comparatively a debatable topic in the prevailing society, which is better, English or mother tongue. To talk in depth on this topic, we have with us Mrs. Sanjeevani Buluthoda, who is a lecturer and a teaching advisor in professional development, currently working in Sri Lanka Technical Education Centre in Kuliapiti. Ma'am, you are warmly welcome and correct.
Thank you.
So before initiating the discussion, ma'am, we would like to know about yourself in brief.
Right. Actually, I started my teaching career as a teacher of teaching English as a second language. That was long ago in 1994, right? I got an appointment to Colombo. It was a rural area. Right? I taught the secondary grade students. I worked there for 3 years. And I taught English as a second language for the students of secondary classes. I handled all skills, I mean the 4 skills of English, as well as basically the government syllabus. And then I was sent to Teachers College at Bolawalana. There I studied my all the pedagogical components and the other components of teaching as a second language, teaching English as a second language. And I became a trained teacher in 1998. And then they placed me again in Colombo for another 2 years. So I worked there until 2000, and then got a transfer to Western Province, a school closer to the coastal area. You might have heard that area. It's called Pamunugama, and they are in a school called Gonsalves Mahavidyalaya. There also I handled secondary classes. There again, I have started teaching them English as a second language. And later, I was transferred to a suburb school, that is Vassala St. Anne's Balika Mahavidyalaya. There also, I conducted lessons in English, that is teaching English as a second language for the secondary classes. And also, I was able to start my career as a literature teacher as well there. And then also, I engaged in this, how do we say, bilingual teaching, where we started with the education reforms, we started teaching our students a certain subject in English language. You might know that we are handling science and then mathematics, health and physical education, citizenship education, and one more. Geography, right? Those 5 subjects we are handling in English, that is for the bilingual education. So I engaged as a teacher of bilingual education as well, and there I taught health and physical education in English medium. And later I was promoted as a teacher educator, and now I'm a teacher educator who handles the teachers' efficiency by exams, and there are other activities. And I'm attached to Professional Teachers PDTC, Professional Development Center for Teachers at Kuliapiti, which comes under Ministry of Education. So for about, more than 22 years, I was engaged in teaching English as a second language for the secondary grade students. And now, of course, I'm a teacher educator who helps the teacher who are handling English as a second language. So that's my story.
So let's move into the discussion from a different point. English is considered as a language of universal knowledge, while mother tongue is a language of our heart. How would you comment on this matter?
Yes, I too agree with you, right? When it comes to, because I used to handle the small kids and the secondary grade students who are between the years of 12 to 17, 18 years. So when it comes to teaching English for these students and when handling English with these children, I too feel that mother tongue is the language which is closer to their heart, because for me it's easy to attract them in mother language, mother tongue. But when it comes to their higher prospects or their higher education, and when they want to find out certain knowledge, some extra knowledge, then they need lots of English, right? That's obvious. Because now, as I told you, I was a bilingual teacher. Whenever I want to material for their education, for their work, for their activities. So they used to tell me it's easy for us to find these things in English language teacher. But the thing is, when I'm talking to them and when I want to be friendly with them and when I want to say certain things, when I want to advise them, when I want to share my feelings, when they want to share their thoughts. So it's Sinhala that they would like to do, because that is their mother tongue as well as mine. So whenever I want to talk to, or when I want to touch the core of their minds, when I want to touch the minds of the children, and when not only with these kids, even I used to work with the students like you, the youth, because I happen to be the commissioner of Girl Guides in Sri Lanka, and I was working with the girls, young girls, because I have this project called Empowering Future Women Leaders. They are also, whenever I want to do some extra activities, some community service, it's always the Sinhala or the mother tongue which is closer to their heart and it is closer to my heart, and it's easy for me to handle them in Sinhala language. But the thing is, when we want to go out, out into the field, out into the other areas, or if we want to have some connection from the outer world, like now, when you are working with the children, you need lots of outside support. So to gain that outside support, we need lots of English, because there are certain agencies where they give you lots of help for not only for this teaching learning process, even for the other activities as well. These community service projects or these community services, sometimes this education comes as a community service in certain areas. So with that, when we want to have some help from the outside, even for our kids, when they need some support, when they seek support, they need English language. So if you want to talk to your kids, if you want to talk to your children, if you want to talk to the youth, into the core of their heart, you need mother tongue. But when you go out and when you seek opportunities, you need English. Yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. So when weaving through a basic socio-cultural perspective, what we generally experience in the society is more people are motivated to gain the mastery in English language, and there's some kind of a symbolic value attached to English in the society as well. So ma'am, how would you see exploiting English language by using it as a tool to showcase one's social status, rather than not merely having any idea to use it as a proper communication method?
Right. Okay. Now, as you all know, that it's easy to see how important English is around the world, right? Because many international businesses conduct meetings in English, and the universities teach courses in English, and around the world, tourists and travelers use English as their common language. So, although we say that originally English is a global language, right? We need that language to go out into the world, right? You know, there are so many importance of learning English. One is that English is a global language. One is that studying in English can help you to get a job, and then learning English can help you to meet new people. And there are so many scientific papers written in English, right? And especially English is the language of the media industry, because you all are, as youth, are so much engaged in this media industry. Whenever you listen to a song, whenever you watch a film, so it's English that always you need. Yeah, there are other languages as well, but as Sri Lankans, our second language, or mainly the partner language, which we partner with the global activities, is the language English. So it's very good if you learn your English better, because it shows your social status. But the thing is, you should not be a servant to that language, because when there are certain instances where you can use your mother tongue instead of English language or the second language. So rather than considering, or rather than treating English as learning English or knowing English is a social status, I think it's better if you set your mindset into a certain aspect, certain way, that you can think that you need English for these things only. That is because English is a global language. It is the most commonly spoken language in the world. Therefore, I too have to learn English. That's one thing, right? Not because that you have to achieve any social status, right? And other thing is that studying English helps you to get a better prospect, right? If you want to serve in whether it is in the public sector or private sector, English is a must, because most of the businesses are handling in that language, and most of the media conferences, the meetings, because we are open to international business market, so that there you need English. But learning English or teaching English or talking in English is not a social status, right? You need English to conduct your life in a feasible manner or comfortable manner, right? That is it. That's my point.
When we listen to general discussions in the society, most of the time, parents and elderly people have wavering minds to whether to educate their children, the younger generation, in English medium or not. However, there is visible inequality in the division of resources among schools in Sri Lanka, such as teachers, learning materials, opportunities to get into interactive activities, and so on. So I am pointing out this question to you in two options, ma'am. First one is, should we first resolve those problems with resource inequalities and then try to educate our children, our younger generation, in English medium? Or the second option I am pointing is, should we anyhow teach them in English language and then try to gradually overcome those challenges with resource inequalities? What's your point of view in this, ma'am?
Now, the thing that you are asking me is whether to have our kids in totally in their English language education. I hope you can hear me clearly. Have them in totally in their English language, English medium education, not regarding the inequalities of teaching English or teaching other subjects in English language in our context, the Sri Lankan context. Now, I can look into this matter in two ways. One thing is that, yes, having your kids, I mean, this is my advice to the parents who are seeking English language education to their kids. One thing is, if you see that the school does not have enough enough teachers or equal opportunity or enough learning materials in that school, don't send them for their English language education or English medium education to that stream. Better let your kids study in their mother tongue or their mother language or the Sinhala language, because when the need arises for them to learn English, they will somehow or the other start grasping the language. Because until 17, 18 years, the children or the youth are capable of grasping other language. Now, you that you all are, or you have not studied your primary education, or you have not studied in your language in English, but yet you are capable of handling things in English medium or English language. So my advice is, if you see that the school have the capacity of giving them education in English language, only you can send your kids to study in English medium. If not, do not send them, because if they do not have proper guidance, if they do not have proper material, if they do not have proper teachers to to complete their education, complete their learning, then it will be it's not good for the kids, because they like to come to school to learn things. Now, you know that we have started, as I told you earlier, with the education reform, we started bilingual education in Sri Lanka. We started teaching all language, all subjects in English, but we did not have teachers at that moment. And still we are struggling to find teachers to teach certain subjects. That's why teachers like us, teachers of second language, and teachers who are teaching English as a second language have to teach the other subjects as well. So it's a bit difficult to find teachers for certain subjects. Of course, science and math are okay, because most of these graduates come out with certain knowledge in English language, or certain knowledge science and math in English language, because the courses are conducted in universities in English language for the science and math graduates. But when it comes to the social sciences like geography, civics education, then history, and even religion, so we find it difficult to find good teachers who can teach these language subjects in English. So therefore, my advice is, if you cannot find good teachers, and the school cannot find good teachers to teach these subjects, do not send your kids for bilingual education or English language education. We are in the process of producing teachers who can teach, who can handle these subjects in English. It might take some time, because now as I'm educated and I know the system in the country, we are doing our activities, we are laying down the processes, and we are having all sort of schools and the colleges of education who can prepare teachers for the 21st century, but actually the teachers who are capable of handling all these subjects in English language. So until we come to a certain standard, my advice is not to send them at the moment, but if you can find, and if you have the capacity of finding teachers, and if you have the capacity of giving your kids good background, if the parents are good in their English language, parents can supply them with all outside resources, then it's okay. You can send your kids for bilingual education or English language teaching. Because I find some parents who are struggling with their kids, they send after sending their kids to international schools or these private schools where they have education in English language. And when they come back, I mean, when the kids come back and ask their parents, Amma, how can I do this homework? Amma, how can I do this? Tata, how can I do this? So sometimes they might not have a way of giving them some extra support. So if you cannot give them your kids some extra support, it's best that you send your kids for your mother tongue. I mean, education in their mother tongue. That is why even in public schools, like the government schools, we start our bilingual education, the secondary education, bilingual education in grade 6. We do not start teaching them English or having these subjects in English in primary classes. Primary classes are conducted solely in mother tongue, right? That is the policy of the country, right? So they can start learning their English language, they can start their bilingual education when they go to the higher classes, I mean from secondary classes. So that's my idea.
Ma'am, how would you support the view using mother tongue in higher education yields more outcomes while using English as a method for instructing? That's your
Or do I oppose that the students having an instruction in English in primary and the secondary class? I totally agree to have your higher education in English language, because as I told you, most of the language of the internet is English, because internet is the easily accessible source of where you can find your materials. Not only that, it is all over the country. The studies are conducted in English. So when you come or when you go to your higher education, it's a must that you start learning things in English. I know that you have to struggle because your primary education might be in mother tongue. Sometimes you might face your secondary education in your mother tongue. Yet you are and you have to complete your higher education in English language. It's my advice. That is one thing is that not only one thing. There are so many advantages will be on your way if you complete your higher education in English. Because English helps you to open a door to a vast special house of knowledge. You can find all sorts of notes, all sorts of ideas, all sorts of things, which help you in your higher education in English language. Sometimes you might have to face interviews. Sometimes you might have to present your papers to foreign universities, or you might do your researches, to read a lot, to do a good literature review, to find data. For all these things, you need lots of English. Therefore, my advice for you all, to the youth of the country, is to have your higher education in English language. But remember, you have to know your mother tongue better, obviously. If you know your mother tongue well, only you will be able to handle things in English language. First, you learn your mother tongue well, and then switch on to English language or whatever the language that you like to use as a second language.
So, as a result of globalization, it's said that more doors have been opened even for the developing countries such as Sri Lanka. And even knowledge dissemination has been occurred as a result of the advancement of science and technology. So how can we grab those global opportunities, being blended with the global communities, having the proficiency of English language, while maintaining our pure identity as a country and as a nation? How can we grab
Right.
those opportunities?
Right. Now you know that, as I told you, English is a language. English is a global language. When you do your businesses, when you do your higher studies, when you are if you are in media industry, if you see good job opportunities from the foreign countries, if you are hoping to start a business ventures with the other countries, I mean the foreign countries, you need lots of English, because you won't be able to communicate with the people outside, I mean out of the country. So because English plays all over the world, right? It comes as a second language, it comes as a foreign language, it comes as a business language, it comes as a language for the communication, because we describe English in many ways. So everywhere is English, but there are other languages as well. But for the Sri Lankans, English is their second language. It is their business language. It is their communication. I mean, it is, with English language you can communicate with the other people. So if you are going out, of the country to do a business, for your higher studies, or for anything, you need English. Yes, I know. Because with English, you will be able to have access to many other avenues. It opens many other avenues, whether it is in business, whether it is in media, whether it is in higher studies, whatever the field that you are going you in future, you need English. But as a Sri Lankan, having your identity is a must, because in Sinhala and your religion, whatever the religion that you belong to, because it is your core. I mean, inside you are a Sri Lankan. Inside you are a Catholic, you are a Buddhist. Sometimes you might be a Hindu. Yes, you are a Sri Lankan. And Sinhala will be your mother tongue, right? Sometimes it can be Tamil, right? But whatever it is, whether it is Sinhala or Tamil, I'm speaking to the people who are talking in Tamil as well. Whatever it is, the mother tongue and your religion should be first in your life. You have to, you have to respect your mother tongue and your religion as your parents. That's how you are paying respect to your parents. It is the same with your religion and your language. So when it comes to Sinhala or Tamil, when it comes to your religion, whether it is you are a Buddhist or Muslim or a Hindu, whatever the religion that you are practicing, try to maintain good status with it. I mean, you have to have some identity for yourself. Although you are going to be a globalized person, although you are facing this globalization, to have your own identity, to stand on you as a unique person, you need your language, your mother tongue, and your religion. So I think how far you walk in your life to other countries, how far you walk into other ventures, how far you walk into the outer world, have that stand, have that base, your mother tongue and your religion.
With this, we come to the conclusion of today's topic, which is better, English or mother tongue. Anyway, both are equally important. While English is mostly important in grabbing as well as local and global opportunities, and mother tongue is very much essential to maintain your identity.
Yes.
So, it's our pleasure if these opinions and the ideas we have shared through our discussion have assisted in you in adjusting your general perspectives. We are very much thankful to Mrs. Sanjeevani Budathota for sacrificing your valuable time on behalf of your busy schedules, madam, and for sharing your valuable personal insights and opinions with us. And so we are very much thankful to you on behalf of Leo Clark University of Colombo.
Right. Okay. Thank you, and all the best for your future interest. Thank you.
So hoping to see you with another interesting episode of Detect and Correct. Stay safe and goodbye.